Hey friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Monday giveaways. First Monday of every month. We do a bunch of giveaways. 4. Who can guess what I was flying during the intro here? Here comes the rest of the flight. See if you can figure it out. In the chat, Nick Mucus was first, Frank Nicholas was next, Benny Bravo, FizzPV, Islander FPV, Spaceman Spiff, Flycadelic, Doubles FPV, Matthew Wagner, Kelvin Knudsen, S, Brandon's Baked Beans, Frosty, Chris Mel, Sly Stop, Hockey Rounds, and Yin Yang. Yeah, tag me and tell me what you think this is. It should look different for a number of reasons, and then I'll tell you what it is. This was I don't know, hour or two ago. Sun was getting pretty low. This is the first that I'm seeing this. Interesting. This is in a form of D-Log, which is why there's not a lot of contrast. Pretty dull in general, but that's what you want from D-Log. Okay. Oh, that's where it shut off. Nope, shut off here. Interesting. Stopped recording here. No, up here. Okay, that's just the battery running out. All right. Well, there's a huge clue. That was, a bunch of you have guessed. You've all guessed wrong. There's pretty much no way. Well, some of you are sort of right. That was this weird thing. This is a Mobula 7 V3 frame, T-motor 1002, 18,000 kV motors, motor limited down to 90%. Gemfan 1610s, X12 AIO. This is analog. It uses a little RunCam Nano there. Micro V hanging out the side here. And that was Insta360 Go footage that you were just looking at. It sits right down in the top of this guy. It fits in. I'm not going to put it in there because it fits in there like outrageously tight, and it's really hard to get out. I got to figure out a better sort of plan of how to get it out of there. But yeah, that's what I was just flying, man. Super, super interesting. So this is like this is kind of Gen 2 of the Tiny Lifter. Builds that I never fly anyway. This is 56.5 grams dry. And then with the small battery, the small 2S300 from Tiny Whoop, it is BT 3.0, 71.87 all up. The Tiny Lifters, which were the old way of moving an Insta360 go around, 71.87. The Tiny Lifters use double 300 mAh 1S batteries. So call it 72. 72 grams here versus the old school Tiny Lifter, which is 76.5. So, wow, okay. Even though this is a giant 3D printed canopy / mount, I just spit all over the place. It's still lighter than the old school Tiny Lifter setup. What I really like about this, though, is that it's not fragile. The Tiny Lifters are built on this old school Cockroach 75 frame, which is like a hard plastic, and the way that these duct supports are, basically if you crash this with any kind of speed, it just explodes. It just breaks the frame. This is in a Mobula 7 V3 frame. Nice soft plastic. Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't. The only problem with this, and it is actually a problem, is the up tilt. I'm not gonna like take the Tiny Lifters apart because the Tiny Lifters can go slow. This can't really go slow. You got to put the nose down a bunch, and so you're always charging forward with this thing. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this together, but it was a fun little. It was a fun experiment. It's completely covered in grass up front, so I got a Q-tip with some isopropyl alcohol on it. I'm just gonna run this around the ducts because there's nothing uglier than a grass-stained duct, and if you stay on top of them, you can keep them from literally turning green. If you don't, they will actually turn green on you. Flying this thing is very similar to flying the Tiny Lifters, but not nearly as bad. It's interesting, like the amount of up tilt is really tough. It's just, you're just charging forward all the time, whereas with the Tiny Lifters you can fly nice and slow because they're low up tilt. But like for moving the Insta360 go around people and whatnot, this is pretty cool. I don't use the Insta360 Go all that much because it's kind of an expensive camera, and it's not super durable, and you can't get them anymore. I had Best Buy protection on mine, and like the first or second big crash on a 3-inch freestyle rig, it broke. And I was able to bring it back to Best Buy and get it replaced way back when they still sold the thing. But nowadays they don't sell it anymore. So I'm assuming that I can't get another one. Like I guess, well, no, the warranty's probably run out by now. I doubt that I would have gotten the 4-year warranty. I probably only got the 2-year warranty. So it's probably like, you know, just sort of is what it is now. Insta360 Go is a fantastic camera for what it is, but it's a little heavy. The highlights of the Insta360 Go 2, are that it's a square sensor, so you can crop vertical for Instagram or wide or do 1x1 square. Really, really cool. The battery life sucks. It's heavy. It's 26 grams. But the video quality is better than, I think, anything. Although 04 would give it a run for its money. There's also ND filters. You can put ND filters on here, which is really, really cool. So it's a really, really, really cool little camera. But I can't fly it like hard freestyle because I might break it. What I've been using this camera for are the cycling events. Extra 26 grams on a 250 gram 2.5 inch rig. It doesn't even notice it. And then it allows me to record some HD video with my old live broadcast setup. The new live broadcast setup is going to be on 04, and I think I'll be able to record on board. And so I'm not going to really use this anymore. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with this. This is a really cool little camera. One of the really neat things that I've seen to do with this camera is helmet mount it. But I don't really wear my helmet anymore. I mean, I will at some point. Like, I will get back out to an autocross at some point. I'm kind of dying to be honest. I would really like to get back out to an autocross at some point here. But the coolest thing that I've seen people doing with the Insta360 Go 3 is, I don't know how the hell they're doing it, but they're mounting it like right there, which is a really cool perspective. I have no idea how they're accomplishing that. I mean, it's a tiny little camera. Yeah, they must. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea because this is all foam in here. I don't know how you would get it to stay in there. But yeah, really, really, really cool little camera to kind of have. It's just you got to find ways to use it, and that's what I've always tried to kind of figure out over the years. It is also a good. I should use it. I have a couple mounts in the car. I have like a front visor mount, and then I have a mount on the rear window of the car. I should really just start bringing it all the times that I go flying outside, which is never. But I should go flying outside more and bring it with me, and I can talk to it on the way to and from, and then I can never do anything with the footage that I record on it. Oh, God. Editing, man. It takes so much goddamn time. All right, so in the chat, if you want to talk directly to me, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. Yo, I've made a complete disaster area here. Get this out of here. Get this out of here. Get these over here. These are charged. This is not. All right, we're good. So, yeah, Tiny Lifter version 2.0. What I can probably do now, I have two of these Tiny Lifters. I could probably take one of them apart. That would make a lot of sense. And maybe I will... So the Tiny Lifters are 2S, which is really cool. What I could probably do is pull one of these apart and put it into a 2.5-inch toothpick frame. I have a Newbie Drone Mosquito 2XL, I think, which is a 2.5-inch toothpick frame. And this would, either this or the other Tiny Lifter would kind of drop right into that, and that would be pretty slick. Because, oh, well, shit. I've already got that. I already did that. I'm way ahead of myself. Look at me go. Okay. I already did that. Oh, this is that V4. This is that Bing Bong V4 frame. Know what I'm saying? This is the Newbie Drone Acro B V4 frame. That's what this is. So I've already got that. All right. Well, I guess I should fly it. Not now, but at some point. Yeah, I'll probably pull one of the Tiny Lifters apart if I can remember. Benny Bravo tagged me and said, CiottiFPV and the fam, good evening, gents. Kelvin said, yo, what up? Whoop, whoop. Hope your brain is feeling better. I know the sun is helping mine. I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. I've had a week to like wind down from all the chaos, and it's good. I'm finally like, achieving some semblance of normalcy again, which is good. Chris Mel says hello. Flew my first packs in over a year today. Very cool. It was fantastic. Used your affiliate links to get the Radiomaster Pocket N3 goggles and O4 Lite. Very cool, man. Thank you. The Pocket came today, but the N3 and O4 are still on the way. Nice, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. Nothing has changed. Some things have changed. FPV says, yo, 1.6. You were kind of right. It was 1.6. Islander FPV says a toothpick seems floaty and slidey. That's because of the weight. You know, this thing is super fat and super heavy, and so when I'm going to, boy, did I feel it. Holy hell. I would either yaw it in to try to get it to change direction or roll it in, and it would just want to keep going straight. It really, this heavy of a setup would really benefit from a 2S build. So down the road, I might kind of do that, but at the moment, this is just an X12. So this build was a analog 2S freestyle setup, and I've had this canopy sitting around forever, and I figured, you know, it's easy just to drop it on, and away we go. And so this was kind of a proof of concept. It's actually pretty good, man. It's for something to like cruise at like 15-20 miles an hour and carry the Insta360 go around. This is pretty cool. And having that square sensor so that you can crop it vertical for Instagram, that's pretty slick. I've used the Insta360 Go 2 for a bunch of stuff with Atlanta Autos, like really like in tight close flying around their quadrillion dollars of cars. And they've used the footage before in their ads. They've chopped it vertical. So yeah, the Insta360 Go 2 and 3 are actually great little cameras. You just have to spend some time figuring out how to use the damn things. Like they're a very unique shape. And putting them on a quad is, I don't know if it's the best thing to kind of do with them. Just because they're awful heavy and because O4 exists now. But it's really cool. You can do regular stabilization or horizon lock stabilization because of that square sensor. And so, yeah, it's slick. It's very slick. That might be fun. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to mess around with it a little bit more. But I'm probably going to be honest, I'm probably going to put this onto this canopy onto a 2-inch frame. This would make a lot more sense on a 2-inch setup, just for a little bit more grip for when it's cornering. Like with this much weight, when I go to corner it, it doesn't want to turn. It really wants to keep going straight. And so a little bit more size, I think, would kind of help with this little fella. So yeah, I'll get this onto a 2-inch frame someday, and probably repurpose this. I don't know if I'll do it with this AIO or not. Yeah, I don't know. The 2S 1.6-inch prop freestyle rigs are really, really cool. And I wonder what... So at the moment, I've got this one that's on 802 19,000s, and it's great. It's super lightweight. I can't help but wonder what it would be like with a bunch more power. This is kind of maxed out on power with the 802s. This guy on the 1002s, it's got a little bit more jam to give. And so I might like take the motor limit off and run them like 18,000 kV on full-blown 2S. But I don't know. What this doesn't do well is duck in and out of the bushes and shit. A, because of the weight, but B, because of the up tilt. This having so much up tilt, it's like always going fast. And you know what? If I put this onto a 2-inch build, it's going to be going even faster. So maybe I actually leave it on the smaller propellers, because that's going to slow it down a little bit. I didn't think about that. But I don't know. We'll see. Do some more experimenting. FizzPB says 04 2S 65mm. That's interesting. I think you thought that because it looked so fat and heavy, like it wouldn't corner. So like you thought it was a heavy 65 millimeter. Kelvin says walk snail build. Yukon FPV says 1.6 walk snail light. Nah, those setups would be a lot lighter. They wouldn't look as fat. Yin Yang 6 says looks like 04 Pro, the AOS. That's actually an interesting guess. Mike K says, is 6S the highest voltage you've seen on a 2.5 inch, or has anyone done 8S? Nobody has done 8S on anything other than 5-inch rigs, nor should they. I'm not even sure if it makes sense for 5-inch rigs. For a 2.5-inch rig, 4S is what you want. There's no benefit to 6S. Crumbled FPV says, hi, what's up? Matthew Wagner says, you could play travel clips. You could play travel clips unedited on live streams. What do you mean? I've kind of been doing that lately. I've played all the flight footage from the Denver trip and the California trip on the last couple of live streams. Is that what you're talking about? Hypno says, I use the Insta360 Go 3S on all my 3.5-inch quads. I love that little camera for that. Yeah, it's a really cool, really cool little camera. And on something with some power, it's a really interesting, like, external HD cam, which is a really cool formula, right? Because then you can fly an analog rig with super low latency, or you can fly a digital rig set to the lowest latency mode. But if you're going to crash it hard, I think you're going to have a rough time. But flying it around like a little Cinewhoop, that's pretty cool. But 04 is so good, right? Like it's really hard to justify it versus 04. CMYK said, because with 04 you can see where you're going. CMYK says, yo gangly gang. Cjo says, my Bentley was in a car show over the weekend with a 300 SL Gullwing and a Carrera GT, among many other cars. Oh my god, fucking royalty. That's humbling. Matthew Wagner says, I mean, when you mentioned talking to the camera, if you took Insta360 Go out to fly, but then not wanting to edit it. Oh. You play... Oh, sure. Right. Yeah, it's true. That is true. I kind of like that idea. All right, so at around 11 o'clock, we're doing giveaways. So that's like 35 minutes or so from now. Giveaways, there's going to be 4 of them. The first 3 giveaways are for patrons. You can join my Patreon now, or up your patron tier now, and get in on today's giveaways. The $5 a month tier is for tiny whoop and toothpick parts. The $10 a month tier is for 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop parts. The $20 a month tier is for 5-inch parts. The $30 a month tier, which is $1 a day, you can do math. That energy in to all 3 of those. All 3 of those giveaways. So those folks win quite a bit. The giveaways are typically like anywhere from $30, $40, $50, $60 to $100 worth of stuff. So when you win a giveaway, it covers your Patreon for many months usually. If you're on the $3 tier, it makes an awful lot of sense to just jump to the $5 tier. Eventually you'll win some tiny whoop stuff, and that'll easily cover the extra $2 a month that you're paying for the $5 tier. CiottiFPV.com, CMYK just dropped the link, Patreon button, and then away you go. Patreon is like the way that I can do this full time. If you like these live streams and you want to see them continue, Patreon is the absolute best way to make that happen. At least jump on the $3 a month, 10 cent a day general admission tier. But again, for an extra $2, you might win a giveaway. I do these giveaways the first Monday of every single month. The other ways to support me are to hire me for one-on-one time with Fiverr. That's the best way to learn. There's a Teespring store with some fun shirts and a whole bunch of affiliate links over there, all on CiottiFPV.com. Change your bookmarks to someone's affiliate links. That way you don't have to remember to hit them. You have to hit affiliate links over and over and over again. Every couple of weeks they expire. Every time you buy something, it wipes that affiliate link out. If you know anybody that uses Honey, tell them to stop. They've been ripping off content creators for like 10 years or some shit. Bad service. Matthew Wagner says, I think recording clips would work if you knew it'd be unedited, basically very deferred live stream. Yeah, I could play that kind of thing when I went to go, if I have to go poop. SlyStopFPV says, RunCam Thumb 2 versus Insta360 Go 3. Insta360 Go 3 is going to be easier to use. It has a built-in battery, which is really nice, and the software is going to be a lot easier. RunCam Thumb 2 is super cheap, and it's pretty damn impressive, but you've got to power it externally, so if you accidentally unplug it before you hit stop, you lose your entire file. God forbid something yanks on that cable and pulls it out, you lose the file. It's going to be lighter because it doesn't have the internal battery. That's pretty cool. But the big thing is going to be cost. The RunCam Thumb 2, I think, is $100. Insta360 Go 3 is probably $300. You know, the RunCam Thumb 2 is an FPV camera. The Insta360 Go 3 is a tiny little action camera. If you're just buying something specifically for FPV, you might be better off with the RunCam Thumb 2. If you're buying something that you might want to use for anything other than FPV, the Insta360 Go 3 is going to be awesome for that. Cjo says, that's a good question, SlyStop. Cjo says, there was like $30 million in cars just on my college campus on Saturday. Jesus Christ. YukinFPV says, love my Go 3, never used it for FPV though. Yeah, it's tough to justify using a little camera that expensive for FPV. FizzPV says, just dropped a clip from my Thumb 2. Had to drop it to 480 from 4K. So that he could upload it to Discord. I just clicked play on it. What build is that? It's wobbling all over the damn place. Is this a, was it windy, or is this a build that doesn't have enough power? It looks like a build that doesn't have enough power. The quality looks totally fine, though. The quality looks very similar to, this is on my Discord, by the way, friends. Over on CiottiFPV.com, there's a link to my Discord. So yeah, there you guys go. Insta360 Go cameras are pretty awesome, but they're kind of heavy, and the battery life is not great. But you can use them for really cool stuff, and the quality is pretty surprising. I've done, did I do a full-blown YouTube edit with Insta360 Go 2 footage? I think I might have. Let me see. Hold on. It'll be from a Criterium Cup cycling event. Yeah, here you go. Sunny King Criterium 2023. So this is... Oh, you fartbag bastard. So this is completely filmed with an Insta360 Go 2 on sub 250 gram rigs. I left the... I put the link in the chat there. FizzPV says, really windy day. Gep RC 4-inch. Nice. Calvin Knudsen says, I threw my full-size Insta360 Go X3 on my 5-inch and went for it. Wild footage. Need it for smaller quads. Yeah, man, a full-size action cam on a 5-inch rig is absolute magic. S says, you mentioned in the last stream that if we want to give you all the profits from purchases or services to message you directly, how will you accept payment in that instance? PayPal. PayPal is always the best, and there's a little link on my website with it. But yeah, this is the Insta360 Go 2 with a good amount of light, and this is pretty fly, homies. Like, it's really impressive what it'll do. I think I might be... So in the middle of the day here, I'm definitely ND filtered. And what's cool about the ND filter situation is that it just screws right onto the front of it. And so they're like protected and they're good to go. And you can actually like just buy the ND filters on Amazon or wherever. And so, yeah, as an action cam, it's awesome. These builds here that I'm flying it on in this edit, these builds are very much Cinewhoops. They are not freestyle rigs at all. I'm flying them extremely safe. And so it totally works in this scenario. These rigs are all on Vistas, and when you feed the old school DJI goggle helmet footage into the Pro, with the Vistas, it doesn't allow you to record DVR. So I've never had a way of getting any kind of footage of any of the live broadcast stuff that I've done other than the Insta360 Go 2. So it's been, and there's the horizon lock looking really, really fly. And so, yeah, this camera has gotten a bunch of use in this kind of scenario. Putting it on, I wish I'd done this sooner. Like, this would have been super cool to bring with me to these events. The only problem is this is analog, so then I would have had to like bring an extra. I would have had to bring analog goggles, which is kind of annoying. And so, yeah, I don't know. This is very cool. Don't get me wrong. But I got to figure out when and where I would use this. Otherwise, this is going to end up on my Etsy store. But yeah, super interesting little build that's got me thinking about the Insta360 Go 2 again, which is pretty cool. So yeah, flying this kind of thing with the 04, I could get probably the 04 Lite. 04 Lite would probably give me almost as good quality, but a lot less weight. Flying this with an 04 Pro, that's going to give better quality. And so where does the Insta360 Go kind of fit? I mean, obviously it fits with somebody that wants to fly analog. But for this kind of thing, I'm about to be on 04, and so the main use that I've had for the Insta360 Go 2 is kind of going away. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. CMYK says maximum up tilt, por favor. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? I should have pushed this is a little flat, man. I don't know why I didn't push more contrast into this. I might have done this edit on the laptop, like with sunlight shining on the screen or something weird like that. Kelvin says, what's a good analog cam that you would recommend for your build? When you say your build, what does that mean? For most tiny whoops, I like the RunCam Nano 3, but there's a lot of different options. The BetaFPV CO3 is going to give you a little bit better image quality than the RunCam Nano 3 and a little bit wider of an angle. But yeah, it kind of depends on what mount you want to run. Okay. What else? Hey, I want to get some batteries on the charger. I plugged in the ViFly Toothster because I was charging BT 3.0 batteries for that rig, but I want to get a couple of, well, I have a few 300 mAh batteries. I want to start to do head-to-heads of 35 millimeter prop versus 31/30 millimeter prop builds. And so we're going to start that up tonight. Maybe on Wednesday we do spend a bunch of time on that live stream kind of diving in, see if, with the new revelation that 35 millimeter props do in fact work totally fine on the bigger propellers, now that we have lightweight ones. Yeah. What does that mean, and where do we go with it? No, is it better? Are the 35 mil props on the bigger frame actually worth it for potentially a little bit more float now that we've got the motor weight down? Previously, when I've done that, the weight gain has been so much that there really was no extra float. Shit, man. All right, we're not going to fly until later. I'm going to put E6000 on this UFL. I've already lost one antenna on this thing. I'm going to put a blob of E6000 on here, and hopefully during the course of this live stream over the next hour or so, it cures enough that it's not all disgusting and wet. That's what she said. And so I'm just putting clear old school E6000 on this. Nice little blob here. All right. And so hopefully I'll be able to fly that in a little bit without losing another ORT Micro V. Did I get that on there good? Yep, perfect. What I do with the UFL, what I've found all you need to do, this is the board down here, this is the UFL sitting up there. I put a blob on the top of the UFL and then I drag it off the side and then I push it onto the PCB. And that's it. I just do like one little globo and that's plenty to hold the UFL on. So we're going to put this guy here. This is actually going to be a pretty cool test. This is on the Newbie Drone Light AF frame. The motors are WeBleed 0702 40,000s on these HQ 1.2 by 1.2 by 2 propellers. CO3 Matrix AIO, a little bit heavier of an AIO than what's on this guy. And so, but like the frame is really light, the motors are high RPM. So this will, I'm actually really looking forward to this little comparison here. Let me take a look at what dry weights are. I don't think the dry weights are going to be that far apart because the bigger build here has the lighter AIO with direct soldered motors. So this guy here that we built on yesterday's live stream is only 17.5 grams. That's really light for a 35mm prop build. This guy with the heavy Matrix AIO, holy shit, 17.5 grams. These are both right on the nose, 17.5 grams. That's really cool. Again, you can build these guys lighter. This can't be built any lighter. This is like, well, I mean, you could, but like with off the shelf parts, you can't really build this to be any lighter. Oh, I'm excited now. This is going to be a cool little test here. So let me get a few batteries on the charger. We'll do that after the giveaways. We'll do like 3 and 3 or maybe 2 and 2, depends on how much time we have. And then Wednesday we'll really dive into it. And yeah, I mean, so this rig that we built yesterday is based off of a regular BetaFPV Air 65. The BetaFPV Air 65 is, it's not like, I almost said uninteresting. It's not uninteresting. It's not as light as it could be, and it's a really good candidate for that exact swap right there. And so like if you have an Air 65, I would think about kind of doing that. Like that's a really cool thing to do with that build. There's nothing wrong with the way the Air 65 flies, but this really didn't gain much weight, and it felt pretty floaty. It felt pretty good, man. And it scratches the itch of like building something different, right? So, yeah, kind of interesting. Kelvin says, your Cine build you're talking about 1 minute ago for CiottiFPV build, your build, LOL silly. Kelvin, I have about 40 builds here. And I've talked about a few of them. Is this the one? Is this the one that you're talking about? If this is what you're talking about, this 3D printed canopy here is specifically set up for the RunCam Nano 3. So there's no other camera that you could run with this guy. If you're talking about something else, you gotta let me know what it is, because I've talked about a bunch of different builds. So yeah, let me know. Let me know specifically which build you're asking about, or hopefully I already answered your question actually. CM Mike says, switched to my phone and it picked up the stream 10 minutes ago, disregard. CMYK says, dude, I won a set of 5 Newbie Drone gates yesterday at a freestyle contest in Napa. Very, very cool. How do you recommend setting them up for freestyle? My favorite thing, I've done a lot with the Newbie Drone gates. This is my absolute favorite. 2 little cable cord bastards up in the corner of the ceiling. 2 here, 2 on that side. I was going to do 2 more here and 2 more over there, but I never did, and this is plenty strong. And then you Velcro the corners, corner, 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 and then you Velcro the bottoms. Velcro here, Velcro there. And it makes an inverted cube that is just too fucking fun. You know, you can shoot it like a gate. You can dive down it. You can come up through it. You can, you know, it's awesome. Having a hanging cube like that is very, very cool. I wish I could do that elsewhere in here. But and then, like, I could do a hanging cube over there or even over here, but what the hell happened to this? Hold on. My corner cubes were all wrecked. They were all kinds of muffed up. All right. Islander FPV says, which 35mm props were those last stream? I just ordered the HQ Tri-Blade 35mm props in 1.5mm shaft. No way. Who had those? Where are those? For my 40,000 kV motors, looking forward to something balanced. Yeah, where'd you see those? HQ Tri-Blade 35mm for 1.5mm shaft. That's pretty interesting. CMYK says, you're direct soldering motors now? Not unless I have to. I've been out of the loop, but considering removing motor plugs to reduce motor twitching since AIO costs are ridiculous. Yeah, no, this was an Air 65 that BetaFPV sent to me that already had the motors direct soldered. And so I just took it out of the regular Air 65 frame and dropped it into this 65 Pro frame. I still refuse to direct solder motors. Freestyle contest in Napa. What the hell? That sounds insane. I want to go to a freestyle contest in Napa. Bastards. What else is happening? I think that's about it. Those are the things. I'm trying to get through the trying my best to get through this Tiny Whoop open footage so that I can submit some of it. Just chopping out the terrible bits, and then I'm gonna. Jesse has a Google Drive that he dropped the link for that we can fill up with freestyle footage, and so yeah, stuff like this. Like this is the streamer, the line of sight streamer battle. That's actually a really nice little run there. So like, yeah, I'm just doing like right now. What I'm just doing is like the super first pass of all the things, and so it's just cutting out like the total garbage. That's a pretty nice little pass there too. Oh yeah. Hold on. So I'm just gonna chop just this little bit out. Come on. And then we're gonna go right here. And so yeah, just kind of working through this in spits and spurts. It's a weird thing to say. It's a weird saying. All right, there we go. So yeah, this will be cool. I mean, I will eventually edit this down. Boy, is it going to be a big edit though. Like I got a lot of footage here to kind of get through. I have to keep this in. Going backwards through that gate is that's important. So we'll do that, and then that might even just like yoi wee farts. Nope, I'm gonna get rid of that. That's all junk. Well, maybe not. There's some kind of, where was the fan that was there? My God. So yeah, been kind of working on that. CMYK says, thanks, dude. That vibe setup looks too good. I knew you would never willfully solder motor. I was a little mad confused. Yeah, no, it's just too annoying. HQ 35mm 1.5 shafts are available at Tiny Whoop. No way. I need to see it to believe it. Props. 35mm. I'll be damned. There it is. Oh, they're not using the right picture, but that's okay. Wow, 1.4 by 1.1 by 3 with just the clearest picture I've ever seen. Yo, that's pretty cool. That is pretty effing cool. Because that opens the door for that opens the door for a lot more durability on this thing. These little 1mm props are going to get absolutely murdered. Super, super, super interesting stuff. I'm going to leave this open in a tab. I don't have a lot of spots to put. Well, so the only 1.5mm motor shaft propeller available for regular 65mm rigs with 30mm, 31mm props is the Gemfan 1210, which used to be and for a long time was like the best of the Tiny Whoop propellers. It's a little bit kind of old hat now. These HQ Ultralight 1.4s, these are a really good propeller. And so, yeah, that's pretty cool. I wish that they had a bi-blade though. I'm probably going to do another one of these 35mm prop builds. This is pretty cool that this propeller exists. The wheels, if you haven't already noticed, the wheels are turning right now, as to the kind of a build that I could do with that setup. WeBleed sells a Screamer motor, an 0702 Screamer motor, which is 32,500 kV with the 1.5mm motor shaft. And yeah, so here it is. So that would be pretty cool. The problem is going to be what AIO do you put? So the 65 Pro frame requires an undersized AIO. So like you couldn't do it with like a 2G4. Oh, this is what I'm gonna do with my Mobula 6 2024, isn't it? It sure is. Yeah, this is my Mobula 6 2024 is a slightly smaller AIO. Yeah. With kind of noisy video, so it's like a hardcore freestyle rig. Yep. That's what I'm doing. That is absolutely what I'm doing. What else does Tiny Whoop have that I need? So this build right here it is on motor plugs. Yeah. Oh, wait. Even better. This one's already... Wait, no, not this. This guy. This guy's ready to go. Oh my god, I can do another 35mm prop build, like, right away. So, this squid here has WeBleed 40,000 kV motors with the 1.5mm motor shaft bells swapped onto them. So I can do this, motor limit it down a little bit. It's already on the Mobula 6 2024 AIO. Yeah, this is the one that I'll do it with. Yeah. So I need to get, I need to get some of those props. What's an excuse to get, what I need to buy more stuff from Tiny Whoop. Unless WeBleed also has the, let's see if WeBleed has those props too. What are they, 35 millimeter, right? Let's just search for 35 millimeter. Don't want those. Ah, yep. WeBleed has them too. Okay, cool. So I gotta figure out how to figure out which one has which motor shaft. How do I know which one has which motor shaft? Oh, it says right up here. So gray and red. So I'll be getting them in red. And I think on the previous screen I saw, the new VCI motors. All right, so that might be, yeah. So I'll jump onto both of those websites and probably snag a set of these VCI motors that everybody's asking about. Maybe I need more BT 3.0 stuff. Cool. Yo, that is very fun. That is very, very fun. Okay. Sweet. I love it. Always nice when a build idea kind of comes together like that, and a way of kind of testing some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this is gonna hang out here. I'll drop that into one of those bigger frames, which are somewhere. Yeah, okay. Somewhere. Every Day with Bruno says Nano 7. Oh, good call, bro. Nano 7, that's right. I've been dying to test one of those. Nano, RunCam Nano 7. Good call. And that came back in stock just recently. Oh, my man. Cool. Nano 7's $25. What's the... Oh, I don't even know if they do free... No, they, you know what? I don't even have to worry about free shipping. That's fine. The camera and some props. That's perfect. Because I don't think either one of these stores do free shipping anymore. I'm pretty sure Tiny Whoop never did. But I think WeBleed's free shipping, if you spend whatever amount of money thing, is gone. Has anybody ordered from WeBleed recently? Do you remember if they had if there was a dollar value where you started getting free shipping? I don't remember. Oh, they've got a clearance section now? Yo, I'm a big fan of clearance sections. If you guys know anything about me, you know that I'm a fan of clearance sections. I can get some double-sided tape, probably. Okay, just a couple things in there. Oh my god, look at this Radio Master transmitter. $409. Used to be $650. Good lord. Render says they do have a bi-blade and they're better. Who sells the bi-blade? Kazuma says, my Air 65 had the camera plug smashed and RX lose and video lose. If I solder the camera on, will that fix RX loss? No. No, RX loss has nothing to do with the camera. Doubles FPV says, any word from Jesse on the 2S batteries? None whatsoever. I didn't ask him at the Tiny Whoop Open. The HQ ultralight 35mm bi-blades are better, but those are good props. I like them. If there's a bi-blade, I want it. Where have you seen the bi-blade? No free shipping. Okay, cool. No free shipping. Just did a $150 order for a Hummingbird V4 and some BT2. Okay, cool. Craig says you want a bi-blade 40 millimeter WeBleed. Now we're doing 35. 40 gets too big. 40 millimeter is going to be too big for an 0702, and you're going to have to go up to an 0802, and then the weight increases, and now you're a little bit too light for, a little bit too heavy for indoor stuff, in my opinion. We're talking 35 millimeter here. Yeah, they don't, I don't think they have, RX loss is either from physical damage or the antenna getting broken. So you can try swapping the antenna out. If it looks like it's not broken, it's probably not broken. But yeah, RX loss is not a good sign, especially if it happened after like a hard crash. That is more than likely a death sentence for that AIO, unfortunately. So cool. Yeah, I'm going to get a couple of sets of these guys and a RunCam Nano 7, and we'll see how this camera is. The reason why this camera is interesting is because of these holes in the corner. I think that this camera might be a replacement for the FXT that came on the Mobula 6 2024. And so if this is like a really good clean camera, then this on a Mobula 6 2024 is a super interesting kind of freestyle build. So yeah, I will give this camera a try for sure. All right. It is 10:57. You've got 3 minutes to get onto a tier that is going to get you in tonight's giveaways. We're going to get the giveaways started in 2 minutes now. CiottiFPV.com, click the Patreon button, and jump from the $3 a month tier to the $5 a month tier. That'll get you in on tonight's giveaways. There's also a $10 and a $20 and a $30 tier. Those will get you into different giveaways. Mick Mucus says, Nano 7 is good, but sticks way out. Interesting. CMYK says, get you a Northeast Whoop Champion shirt. It's one of my designs. I think I have one. Hold on. Let me see. Is it this one? Is it that one? If it's that one, he sent me a few. I love this design. If this is your design, I love it. I love the little battery connector at the end of that. That's just perfect. Cool colors as well. The yellow one is really, really cool. Nice. Yeah, I have this in, I think, the green and the yellow. I've worn it on a couple streams. He was kind enough to send me one. Or two, or three. I've also given a couple of them away, come to think of it. All right. Cool. Cumber FPV with an interesting question. He says, any real... He didn't tag me, but I just happened to see the question. Any real benefit to bell swapping? I want to run the Newbie Drone 30,000 kV windings and the topspin bells, but don't know if it's worth it. I don't know. I mean, if it's worth it is a totally personal decision that you have to make. But what I can tell you is that, like, I don't know if the Newbie Drone stator is going to jive with the Happy Model bells. If the Newbie Drone motors are made by Happy Model, then you might be okay. And I know that the old Newbie Drone motors were made by Happy Model. I don't know if the new ones are, though. So that might not even work. You might not even be able to do that. But yeah, if it will work, then it's pretty cool because there's bells out there that have 1.5 millimeter motor shafts. There's bells that are different colors. There's the topspin bells, which have the unslippable motor shaft. So yeah, I don't know if that swap will work. All right. It is giveaway time, my friends. When I do the giveaways, I come into my Discord and go to the Video Collective where you can post your flights and edits and all that good stuff. I pick a few of these, play them, and then Leroy Jenkins comes, knocks the door down, and lights the entire earth on fire. It's a really good time. And so we're going to get... We've got one video from CMYKFPV. Wow, nobody's been posting in Video Collective, so Crom's video is going to get watched again from last month. And then And then I'm going to do another CMYK video, actually, because none of you guys are posting in here. It's a... well, no, here we go. Right next to it is Liquid Fusion. Liquid Fusion video is going to get played here as well. Sorry to get your hopes up, CMYK. But you're getting one of yours played. There we go. All right, cool. So, Liquid Fusion, Crom, and Leroy Jenkins. Oh, wait, no. This is CMYK posting a link to FPV Guide's video, Noland FPV. Well, that's pretty cool. CMYK is getting skipped entirely tonight. Sweet. All right, we're going to play these three. I need to find that window with all the giveaway stuff, which should be here. Yep, there it is. And so let's get this going. All right. Let me just refresh a couple of windows here. I actually want to move this over to... I want to move this over to Firefox. Hold on. Let me just do something super quick, like... I'm slowly moving the 10,000 open tabs that I have in Chrome over to Firefox in the hope that it will not drag on the computer quite so hard. Okay, got that one. Got this one. Almost there. This is, look, I'm just giving you another second to go in there and update your tier to one where you can, in Patreon, to one where you can get in on the beautiful giveaways tonight. Almost there. There we go. There's the last one. Okay. One more set of windows inside of Firefox rather than Chrome. That's pretty cool. Let me just make sure I didn't leave myself any notes in here. Nope, no notes. We're good. Cool. One less window with a million tabs from Chrome closed. So now we're going to do this in Firefox, and that's totally fine. Let me get you some copyright-free music. I'm going to play some of your guys' flight footage, and then I'll be back with the everything all set up and ready to go in a minute here. Stream shit. Atlanta. I'm also slowly moving everything over to the faster hard drives too. Good God, man. Moving data around these hard drives is killing me. This has been a lot of work to get this all going. Of course, the first one that we're going to have to play, some of you know exactly what it's going to be. Some of you know. Those that don't, you'll get it really quickly. Black Hole 2 channel. Here we go. I'll be back, friends. Enjoy this.
A daddy spaghetti, we're rocking the scene. A handsome dog, the star supreme. With first so flying paws that slam. He's the coolest pup in the jam. Sniffing out the beats with every step. Daddy's got swagger no one can forget. Barking out loud, catching everyone's eye. He's the rebel dog, breaking the sky. Daddy spaghetti, living his life. Chewing on corn, causing strife. He's got snarling fangs and a wild voice. A punk rock pop, making all the noise. Like them on fucking rock, keep fighting. Sniffing out the beats with every step. Daddy's got swagger no one can forget. Barking out loud, catching everyone's eye. He's the rebel dog, breaking the sky. going on chords, causing a strife. He's got snarling fangs and a wild voice. A punk rock pop making all the noise. Making all the noise.
All right, you dirty rat bastards. I'm ready to go. Let me drop that last bing bong on you. Here's the link to Liquid Fusion coming at you in the chat. Click all three of those links. Go subscribe to those people's channels. Leave a comment. Tell them you love that they're still putting things up on YouTube for the rest of us to actually watch. Flight edits are rarer and rarer by the day. We need to support the folks that are actually taking the time to do them and edit them and chop music in and put them on YouTube, because otherwise we're not going to have anything to watch, yo. Kelvin says, I added a video of an analog 75mm chasing an RC plane in Discord videos. Nice. Craig says, Teddy. Moss1 says, what's up, buddy? Have you tried the BetaFPV 0702 SE2? Oddly enough, on the very last live stream yesterday, I did this build with those exact motors. So yeah, I have run them. I don't notice a difference between the version 1 of the motor. They're still not quite as efficient as Happy Model 702s with the same amount of power, but they're pretty good. They're closer. They're close, and they're wound different. The Happy Model motors are wound WYE, which seems like a better choice for freestyle. The BetaFPV motors are wound Delta, which seems to be better for racing. So a good racing motor is my guess with them. I'm not a racer, so it's hard for me to kind of say that, but this is what I've heard from the racers, and they're good at they're good at like being able to tell what's fast and what's loose. Take that as you may. Hold on, I accidentally closed the one window that I need to not be closed. What's happening here? Where did that farts? How do I get it back? How do I get that window back? Oh, no. How do I get that window back? How did I close it? I didn't mean to close it. Oh, here it is. I bet you this is it. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're all set. All right, giveaway time, yo. Let me just close this, open this, pop out chat, and away we shall go. Quit out of that. Pause this. All right, good to go. First up is the Tiny Whoop tier. We've got some stuff. All right, come on. All these stickers and shit. All right, Tiny Whoop tier is a whole bunch. I think this is like 3 or 4 sets of GemFan 16... What are these? 1609s. 3 or 4 sets of those. We've got the 6 packs a day 3D printed battery holder, Broken Prop Crew sticker, WeBleed coaster. Come on now. Can't buy those. Those are, you could probably buy them. WeBleed holographic sticker. Build, Fly, Crash, Repeat. WeBleed sticker. Wee little CMYK sticker. Double printed. Double side printed. WeBleedFPV Band-Aid. And then we've got 2 or 3 sets of GemFan 1209s. A set of purple Newbie Drone Venom props. A BT 2.0 male and female. We've got a Beta 65 Air, Beta FPV Air 65 canopy. Holographic Brain 3D sticker. And then the 75X, the Beta FPV 75X frame in this light blue. Let's see who's going to win all this fun Tiny Whoop stuff. This is everybody on this $5 a month tier. Here we go. Goat is hanging in, man. He needs a new battery, but he's hanging in. Mario Beans up on top dead center just got blown away. He's gone. Bad Neron top right. He's hanging in. He's gone. Every single person whose name that I look at is getting blown away. Parkour guy, you've won. Jesus, that happened all at once. Congratulations, brother. I'm gonna write your name down here. Grab your address off of Patreon and send you some stuff. All right. Parkour, right? Parkour. Yep. GUY. Congrats, brother. Next up, we've got the 3-inch micro brushless and Tiny Whoop tier. I'm sorry. And Cinewhoop tier. 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop tier. It's another absolute prop fiesta, another festival of festivals. That's a weird thing to say out loud. Set of the GemFan Tri-Blade Cinewhoop props in clear. Another set of them in Burn Your Retinas Out yellow. These are 3.5-inch Cinewhoop props from GemFan, the Tri-Blades. I'm sorry, nope, these are HQs. HQ D-T90 in 90 millimeter. And then we've got the 6-blade versions of those. DT something. What are these ones called? Duct 85R. 85. Those are 90 and these are 85. That's interesting. The Nazgul 3-inch Tri-Blade Cinewhoop props. Bunch of Cinewhoop props here. Not all Cinewhoop props though. These are the GemFan 3052s. 2 or 3 sets of those. And then another set of those Tri-Blade Cinewhoop GemFan props here. Brain 3D holographic sticker. Broken Prop Crew. CMYK FPV. Let's see who's going to win the 3-inch tier. Got it going on here. And this button. And go! DCDK is hanging in there by Motor 4 right on top of that front left arm. Frank Nicholas just got blown away before my very eyes. So did he. Kevin James by Motor 1. He's gone. Vern Kelk. I haven't seen him in chat in a while. Hopefully he's doing well. Vern Kelk, you have won. Kelky in the chat. Old school fan of the channel here. K-E-L-K. Congratulations, dude. Hopefully his address hasn't changed. All right, that's the 3-inch tier. Next up, we've got the 5-inch tier. And we got a frame and some props this time. I actually don't know what frame this is. But we've got 3 sets of the GemFan 4934s, I think, right? Yep. 3 sets of the GemFan 4934s. I think these are my favorite lightweight 5-inch props at the moment. And then we've got this frame. This is what the arm ends look like. I'm not sure what frame it is, but yeah, this is it. And it comes with these really cool arm LEDs that are pre-shrimp wrapped on there, courtesy of Frank Nicholas. Yeah, very cool little frame. Also comes with a little Caddx antenna as well in there. So a full frame. This frame has been put together, but it's never been flown. So it's as good as new. So that is going to be here. Let's see who wins. John Dawson just got blown away. Bob Noxious is by Motor One. He's hanging tough. Kevin James on the top right next to Christopher Dilks. Kevin Sumner on the top left. Hypnos as well. Kevin James, you have won. Congrats, dude. All right, next up, we've got the Super Chat-based giveaway. $5 a ticket. I'll tell you what you're playing for in a second, but feel free to do either a Super Chat or a PayPal. $5 gets you a ticket. You can buy as many tickets as you want. The main item is a Gangly fan. If you know what it is, you might already be getting your tickets going. Kevin James. Congrats, brother. All right. And so here's what you're playing for in the Super Chat based, the Super Chat and PayPal based giveaway. Big old bag of stuff. Little tiny thing of super glue to remind you to get little tiny things of super glue, because if you don't, they just dry up anyway. WeBleed Band-Aid. Brain 3D holographic sticker. Gangly Gang keychain made from the same sparkly material as the fans. CMYK sticker. Broken Prop Crew. WeBleed holographic. WeBleed build fly claw your eyes out sticker. Blue 6 batteries a day holder. Mass Adhesives Electronic Goop version 2. That's less sticky. Really nice quality Rotor Riot purple lanyard, goggle lanyard with the giant claw jib jab on there. The Gangly fan, there it is, the new version with the purple back and the sparkly red front. This is how you keep your shit cold or not inhale solder fumes. And then a small, if you're not a small, or if you don't have a use for a small, I'll put this into the next one. WeBleed shirt. Hold on. Don't need it in this silly, crinkly plastic bullshit. Small size WeBleed shirt. Crash, fly, explode, repeat. Right? Build, fly, crash, repair, bleed, repeat. This is big for a small. This is like a medium. If you're a small or a medium, this will totally fit. Shit, I don't think I have one of these. I don't think he ever sent me one of these in medium. But boy, as a small, this looks kind of big. If you want it, it's yours. If not, I'm gonna keep this. But if whoever wins this is either a small or a medium, it's definitely not a large. If you're a large, it's not gonna fit you. But yeah, there you go. That's what you're playing for, friends. $5 per ticket. Feel free to do PayPal over on CiottiFPV.com or do a super chat for $5. Let me get my mail fired up real quick here. Fired up. Sorry. That's what happens. It's just a biological reaction. Can't really help it. See, Mike says a pair of used CiottiFPV socks seals for the freshness. But Erickson says PayPal for $2, and I will take the shirt if I get it. LOL, very cool. I like that. Let's get it going here. Double Deuce with a $10 PayPal. He says, 2 tickets, please. Need to replace my keychain. Fan can go back into the giveaway. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. I think that's you, Mick, right? Oh, wait, no. Wait, no. Hold on. Double Deuce is Mick Mucus, right? Yeah. There's another $10 PayPal right next to that from John Ray, who is Metal Dirtskin. I'm getting the M's confused. So Metal, you're going on the wheel 2 times. You're getting 2 tickets. It's not. There's no wheels anymore. 1, 2. There we go. Metal, you're good. And then we've got. What are you telling me, BetaFPV? Oh, okay. No, that's good. It's a good email. And then we've got Mick Mucus. I'm just going to put you in here as Double Deuce. That way I can copy and paste. You get your 2. And then we got Frank Nicholas with a $20 super chat. 4 entries. Coming in hot. Thank you, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then we've got Brian Kirk. He says, Gangly fan giveaway. You can keep the shirt. Very cool. I hope Brian Kirk wins. David P. with a $15 super chat. He says, the Micro King Hypnos FPV. Thank you, brother. You're getting 3 tickets, my friend. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Nardo Polo with a $5 super chat. He's getting a ticket. He says, can't win without playing, so I'll take 1. That's true. There is absolutely no way to win a Gangly fan without playing. CMYK with a $10 super chat. He says, 1 for Render and 1 for the newest patron. Render, are you in the chat? Tag me. You have to be in the chat. And then newest patron, huh? Nobody's joined the Patreon in a while. I have not gotten a Patreon email in a hot minute. I've also not really been streaming all that regularly with the couple of trips that I've had. But let's see. How can I find that out? Usually I have like emails waiting for me of like the newest patrons. But let's see here. If I just go to audience, I bet you that'll put them in chronological. Let's see. This looks pretty chronological to me. Let me just make this window wider. Well, that doesn't help. What the hell? Why can't I scroll in here? You know, this is good. That would be Ernest Jin. Ernest Jin, thanks to CMYK, you've got a ticket. Hopefully you're watching this at some point. Nope, that ain't it. Do I have Ernest's address in here? I do indeed. Yeah. So Ernest is in. Thank you, CMYK. That's very cool of you. What happened to my email? There it is. All right, got that. All right, 30 more seconds, friends, and then we're spinning the props and blowing away a bunch of tickets, and then away we go. Hold on, I didn't want to close that window. I wanted to take another quick look. Subscription source. No, how do I organize these? But why are you like this? Current tier, email. No, I want to turn that. What if I turn that off? Here we go. Join date. Okay, so yeah, Ernest Jin joined today, actually. Very cool. And he was in the toothpick and Tiny Whoop tier giveaway. Awesome. So that's good to go. Sweet. Cheatonian with a $10 super chat. He's getting 2 tickets. 15 more seconds, friends. We've got 1 and 2. And then Danzilla the Terrible, he says 3 for FizzPV, please. Very cool. Got the most generous audience on earth. You guys are incredible. We've got FizzPV, FizzPV, FizzPV. Thanks to Danzilla. Midnight Jesus is getting a ticket. He finally realized that he can't possibly win if he doesn't play. And then Sly Stop FPV with a $6.99 Canadian Californian super chat. He's getting a ticket as well. 10 seconds, friends. Last chance. Let me refresh my email or whatever the right word is. And cool, good to go. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to submit this. That's what that looks like. Here comes the goat. Best of luck to everybody. Thank you all for the support. Midnight Jesus is on the top right, hanging in. Hypnos is on the top right as well by motor number 2. Render by motor number 4. FizzPV on the middle of the left there. Double Deuce bottom left by motor 3. He's gone, though. FizzPV is hanging in. Frank Nicholas is hanging in. It's been Frizz and Frank. It's Frank Nicholas. I would not be a good auctioneer person. Congratulations, Frank Nicholas. I believe that Frank won, was it last month? It might have been the month before. Very, very cool. Frank, I know that you lost a whole bunch of weight. Have you lost enough weight to fit into a small, medium shirt, or should I keep the shirt? I think you, maybe. Frank, is there anything in here that you don't want? Is there anything? Sometimes Frank will be like, "Yo, leave this out. Leave this out. Take the shirt." Nice. Awesome. Frank is one of the OGs that was like one of the last ones to win a Gangly Fang. So there it is. Reroll for the fan. I have one. You know what? I'm gonna do that right now. I'll ship another package out. Hell yeah. So we're gonna go play again. That should remove Frank. Yep, that's removed Frank. Somebody's gonna win just the fan. No! Ah! There you go. A little bit of goat for you. FizzPV on the left. I'm not sure who that is on the bottom, but they're hanging in there. Ernest is hanging in on the right. Brian Kirk, top right. It's going to be either metal. It's Metal Dirtskin. Congratulations, brother. You have won just the Gangly fan. How am I going to ship just... Ooh, I'll ship it in one of these red guys. Perfect. Very cool of you, Frank. And I'm actually glad that someone else won this t-shirt. I have way too many t-shirts. So we're going to go... Metal Dirt Skin. And I'm going to put the fan in here for metal. And then the other package is good to go. I can just stuff the shirt in. Oh, this is actually really easy for me to ship these out. Awesome. Congratulations, friends. Frank, do you have the electronic goop, or is this the first time you're going to get to experience the Mass Adhesives electronic goop version 2? I hope that Frank has version 1 and that now he's going to get version 2 and that he can then get back to us on the difference between version 1 and version 2. CMYK says you need a long sleeve Henley. What's a Henley? I don't think I have the goop. Ah, okay. Well, we won't get a comparison from him, but I'm glad that he'll get to experience the electronic goop. Thanks for playing, friends. Very cool of you all. Just making sure I didn't miss any chat comments. Okay, good to go. Cool. Frank, do you want the keychain, or do you want me to put the Gangly Fan keychain in with the Gangly Fan? I think you would have won the keychain last week. You're more than welcome to have 2 of them. But let me know. Cool. We got some batteries on the charger. They are charged. That's looking good. Jesus, it's 11:30 already. Keychain with the fan. I have one. All right, awesome. I can't believe I remembered that. Look at me. My brain sometimes works. Where's that keychain at? It's in here somewhere. I think I feel it. Nope, that's a sticker. Well, I hear it. Keychain, come to me. There it is. Keychain goes to Metal Dirtskin. Very cool. Thank you, friends. Fire away with any questions that you've got. I'm going to do a little bit of comparing 30mm/31mm versus 35mm propellers. 2 builds that are damn near identical. I'm really impressed how closely these 2 builds are. Matrix AIO, Air 65 AIO. Happy Model 0702 40,000 kV motors, BetaFPV 0702 27,000 kV motors, HQ 1.2 by 1.2 by 2 bi-blades, ultralight bi-blades, Gem Fan 35 millimeter, which is like 1.4 inch bi-blades, both on BetaFPV air canopies with micro V's and CO3s. Very, very cool. And they both weigh 17.5 grams, all up weight. So really, really, really cool comparison of two rigs that are very, very similar. Hopefully this E6000 has cured up a little bit. Oh man, it's soft. I mean, it's not like liquid anymore, but it's still really soft. Hopefully this antenna doesn't get yanked on, because I think it'll just pull it right out of there. But we'll give it a shot. So I've got 4 300 mAh batteries and 2 260 mAh batteries. I am super interested to see what the difference is going to be in runtime and flight characteristics and all kinds of good stuff. So let's dive in, yo. Let's get started. I'm going to build on this comparison in a future live stream, but this is just kind of getting us started. CMYK says you should run some Uncrashed on the next sim stream. I made a map of the main Napa spot. That's pretty slick. Does Uncrashed run on Mac? I didn't think it did. I thought it was PC only. Brian Kirk says, how do you get the max RPM on the OSD after you disarm? I tried copying my old OSD for my Hummingbird race spec on my V4, but it doesn't show up. Just go into the OSD tab and just turn it on. So yeah, just go to the OSD tab in Betaflight, and on the bottom right corner are going to be post-flight statistics. And if you're on a new enough version of Betaflight, there'll be some sort of like maximum RPM option in there that you can check. Reagan GTX says, you said you haven't gotten an email about new patrons I joined. I want to say last week or the week before. CMYK says, yeah, it's a Steam game. You know what? They're probably going to junk. Let me see. Survey about United Healthcare. That's a good email to go to junk. Priceline, Emacs, Lending Tree, One Life Fitness, Lending Tree, Sane Smart. No. Patreon is just not sending me those emails anymore. That's interesting. Priceline, BetaFPV. I don't want that going in there. What the hell, bro? Yeah, weird. Patreon must not just be... But I did just figure out how to do it. I just go in and click... I just go in and click a thing and it's fine. So I know how to do it now, so that's fine. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we're good. It's actually fine that they're not sending me the... how many times can I say fine? Sending me the emails anymore. Good God, Priceline. Read the fucking room. Undeliverable. What? To myself? No. No. Never mind. Oh my God. Tint World, what? Oh, that's my receipt. It's interesting, the stuff that gets sent to junk mail. All right, we good. Rax says, I asked the other night, but I think you missed it. What happens to the linear Menace RC patch? I see you're back to the RCP, which is linear no good. I was interested. I did see it and I answered it. You must have missed it. The Menace RC linear is on these HD0 goggles, and then on these old school Fat Shark goggles, I've got the trusty old purple Menace RC Pico patch that I've had forever. When I record DVR, I use the HD0 goggles. When I don't record DVR, I use these. They're lighter, more comfortable. And so, yeah, there you go. There's the answer to your question. CMYK says, yeah, it's a Steam game. Reagan GTX says, please make sure you're getting my money. Where did you send... dude, the NES skin looks so good, I know, right? Where did you send it? I shouldn't need to get an email. Yeah, how did you send it? I'm sure we're fine. Patreon just does its thing. I don't have to like click accept or anything with Patreon. You subscribe and away it goes. You're good to go. Let's fly the... I just spit again. Let's fly this guy first. Let's fly this guy first because I put a bunch of Patreon. All right, yeah, so you're good, Reagan. We're gonna fly this first because I have a bunch of batteries through this in a row. So I'm gonna put two 300 mAh batteries through this, and then I'm gonna switch to the smaller rig, and then we'll do the 260s dead last. So up first is the 35 millimeter prop, 17.5 gram, basically Air 65 converted over into a I guess this would be like an Air 65 Pro, like a current generation Air 65 Pro. Here we go. Hold on, let me just turn the brightness up in these goggles a little bit. Here comes Teddy to investigate. So we're looking at like runtime, we're looking at flight characteristics, we're looking for float. I'm gonna go upstairs here. Oh boy. Hit that railing hard. TV is on. What? Why? Why is the TV on? What is happening? What is on the TV? I can tell who turned it on. Oh, there's an animal documentary playing. That's Maggie. Is she awake? No. Well, I can't remember. Oh, here's the situation. What's happening here? It's awful late for Little Boo to be awake. What the hell's that about? It's super late for Little Boo to be awake. What in the world? She got school tomorrow. She's supposed to have school tomorrow. Oh my god, why on earth would I not bail? I just kept staring at the top of the refrigerator, getting closer and closer. This thing flies great, man. I swear to God there's a little bit of extra float there. There might not be. But there might be. There might be just a hair more float from these bigger props. Oh, shit. It sounds bad. I heard a bad sound. Oh, it's fine. Woo! Shit, I got through that doorway. Ugh, I wanted to do that with some rear momentum so I could try to do that little jam. This thing flies great, dude. I am really blown away at how well these 702s are handling these bigger, heavier props. Uh, 3.5. Nope, we got a little bit more. Whoopsie. Get in there! Uh-oh. This thing is starting to get upset with the world. So it's getting a little bit beat up, and the PID loop is starting to freak out a little bit. Let's see if it's the propellers, or what's the deal here. So motor 1, not totally clean. Motor 2 is feeling pretty good. 3 is pretty good. 4 is starting to get beat up. So yeah, motors 1 and 4 are starting to get a little beat up on this thing. I might need to move the PIDs down to try to get a handle on that. That's starting to kind of freak out a little bit. Interesting. I wonder if that's an issue with this 65 Pro frame being like kind of bigger and a little more wobbly. It could totally be that. But when I had this in the regular old Air 65 frame, the tune was totally fine. So, yeah, interesting. It's not prop washing though, and it's making really good thrust right now. So, can't really complain about that. This battery's done. Let's do another battery on this. I'm gonna go back upstairs, and then I'll as quick as I can go to the smaller 30mm prop build, and I'll see if I can feel a difference. Nardo Polo says, "What equipment do you use to capture analog video on your Mac?" It's if you go onto Amazon and you search for, where the hell did the video go? If you go to Amazon and you search for USB video FPV video receiver, you'll find it. It's like 25 bucks. It's this thing right up here. That's what it looks like. This is weird. With a fresh battery, everything is fine. Oh my god, somebody turned the lights out here. CO3 doing a pretty decent job of handling the darkness. See how I'm bouncing up? Oh. When you see me bouncing up at the bottom of stuff, like that. No, see that? I didn't bounce. But when you see me bounce up, that means the rig has a lot of power. And I'm blipping it too much. Which means it has more power than what I'm used to, which is a good thing. Because mo power is mo better, of course. Whoa! Hey. Hey, what was that about? Ah! Yeah, this thing, wow. I'm pretty impressed by this. I think one of the things that's going to kill this, though, is going to be durability, but you never know. It is awful lightweight. Stop it. Oh, boy. Getting a little discombobulated. Oh, just barely caught the side of the round gate there. Whoa, what's that? What? What the hell? What is happening, little friend? He lost his will to live. Oh my god, that looks so sexy. Oh! Oh my god. Yeah, this thing rips. Or I'm just flying half decent for a change. Either or. Alright, quick. Go into the 1.6 inch rig. Same camera, same canopy, same everything. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Not a bad runtime. Quick. Here we go. 300 mAh battery. There we go. Alright. Smaller props, same all up weight. Same kind of everything. Let's go right upstairs. Much higher well, not much, but higher KV motors. Wow, okay. So there is a, yeah, there's a difference for sure. These, woo! Yeah, this feels lighter. It's not. It's just the props are lighter. And so the response time is better. Wow, look at it sliding around the room, too. So it is... Oh, that was a hard hit. It slides around a little bit more. From the smaller propellers. That's interesting. I didn't notice a difference in float, per se. But, yeah, it definitely felt... It almost felt heavier in that respect. It's weird. It feels lighter from, like, a response time perspective, but then it feels... but then it feels more slidey and almost heavier from, like, an all-up weight perspective. Oh boy. Hey. It's also kind of faster in the air, which makes sense because it's smaller. And so, it being faster in the air, I'm having a harder time. I'm having a harder time being more accurate with this. This is super interesting. Missed that. Got it that time. Ah, what did I even hit? What was that about? I think the PID loop is a little bit more dialed than this one too. Oh, farts. Runtime is about the same. Wow, this is really cool. These are way more similar than I thought. Hold on, I might go back to the other build on this last 300. Hold on, yeah, I am. I'm gonna go back to the other build for the last 300 mAh battery, just to try to like kind of nail down that feeling, the different feeling between the two. This is really cool. I'm surprised there's this much of a difference between these two. Oh my god. Oh god, easy. Plenty of power, man. Even on these low kV 27,000 motors. I had to bail on that. I was like not lined up quite right. Oof. This would take some getting used to. Oh my god. This would take a little bit of getting used to, but I think I like this, man. This is Oh, don't fall down behind. Thank you. What? Oh my god, dude. It might be a little bit slower, but boy, things still happen quick. This is good, dude. I am liking this. Teddy, I saw you there. You little spaghetti monster coming around again. Oh! That hang time is just glorious. Ah, that's the quad gate. This is really hard to get through, but not impossible. Ah! Oh god! Oh shit! In order to get, it's interesting. These are both on bi-blades, drastically different KVs. I can't tell which one makes more power. What's super interesting is like the runtime is kind of the same between these two. 2 minutes and 30. Look at that. The runtime is kind of the same. The bigger propellers are more efficient, but then it's like heavier. It's weird. Like they're different, but then the same. I'm gonna switch back over to the small prop rig, and we're gonna do these 260 mAh batteries. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen here, but two freshly charged 260s, 17.5 gram, 1.2 inch propellered build on 40,000 kV motors. Oh boy, this now feels very light. Oh shit. See how things are happening faster? Because, oh no. Don't tell me the fucking antenna popped off. Please no. Please no. Oh, I lost another antenna. No, you dirty rat bastard, you. Oh, I think I know where it is, though. It should be under the coffee table. Hold on. Where are you, Micro V? Where are you? Oh. I got it. Well, I guess that E6000 really hadn't cured quite enough. Because that shit popped right off. And it took the E6000 with it. Let me just feed it back through. And I'm going to try to not crash this. That's not true. I'm just going to fly it and whatever happens, happens. I'm actually going to try to push the E6000 down against the board. Maybe it'll come back to life there. Okay. Rest of this 260 mAh battery. That sucks because I had to unplug it and now I don't know what the runtime is going to be. That's a shame. I'm going to back off just a little bit. Oh, God! Immediately crashes and loses the antenna. Just fucking immediately. Thump! It just unplugged, though. It's fine. It just unplugged. The way that I have the micro... let's not run a micro V antenna on here. Let's run a silly little whip antenna. Yeah. Here we go. This won't pop off as often. This is fine. This is fine. Silly little whip antenna. It'll be okay. This rig is now going to be ever so slightly lighter weight. But, you know, this is in a smaller frame. That's probably a better comparison, to be honest, because it is in a smaller frame, so it should be lighter weight. It's just that on these two builds, I'd been using these two builds have different AIOs, and this build has the heavier Matrix AIO. Teddy, oh my God. Yeah, the response time is better on this, and that makes it feel lighter. But then that also means that everything happens faster. Oh, God. Ah! Got me. I'm getting better at avoiding the chair at the bottom of that dive, but then it, like, flings me across the room. Oh my God, I don't know what I was doing there. I just, like, put the... I don't know, I put the sticks into a weird place. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Ooh, Jesus. Covered the entire distance of the room backwards there. Hold on, I want to do the Gauss cannon. Let's do the Gauss cannon. Oh, fart. Time for the railgun, baby. Come on. Get your shit together, little quad. Oh, Teddy. Oh, he's ferocious. Railgun. There it was. Oh, just letting it float. What was that weird little bit of weirdness? That was strange. Got a good fucking railgun in there, though. We got railed, bro. I feel like that runtime was really good, actually. Alright, and now back to the 1.4-inch props. Last battery of the Schlive stream. Okay. Last little bit. Super lightweight. Come on. Yeah, response time is definitely not as good. The response time is still fine, though. It's just not as, like, crack cocaine as it is on the 1.2 inch props. Also, keep in mind that, like, I haven't tuned this hardly at all. Although that's not true. This was a working rig with a tune on it. And I've had to back the tune off a little bit. Oh, shit! What you know about that? This fucking thing flies great, dude. What the shit? Oh my god. Oh, yo, this is really fun. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm in the sim rig, and I'm up against the VR headset. I think I'm gonna have to go get it, yeah. I'm gonna have to go get it. Damn, dude, this thing flies fucking great! Basically, what I think we have here is validation of... this is basically what I was hoping for from 1.6 inch prop rigs. Oh my god, what is happening with the exposure on the camera all of a sudden? What the fuck? It's not closing the shutter down. Yo, that's so weird. Doing that for you guys too? The camera is super confused. Hold on, we're gonna power cycle it. That's not all that flyable. That's the first time I've ever seen that happening. Jesus. There we go, that's better. Oh, Teddy boy. Oh god, Teddy. Don't get it caught in your beard, buddy. Uh-oh. 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 Whoa, he's ferocious! Oh, he's pissed off tonight. He's pissed. Look how upset he is. Whoa! Whoa! He's so upset. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It went into one of the giveaway bags. Teddy! Teddy! Easy, buddy. Easy. All right, that's the end of that battery. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I am shocked at how good this is. I'm worried though. I'm worried that this 65 Pro frame is gonna break because all of the BetaFPV frames kind of break. But I've crashed this pretty good so far, and the frame is holding up, so maybe it'll be fine. Yeah, I think this is basically like for flying inside. Weight matters a ton, and when you go up to 1.6 inch props, the props become so heavy that you have to run an 802 motor. These 1.4 inch props are just barely, they're like the maximum size, I think, for these 702 motors. And so we can get the lightweight, but then we've got a slightly bigger propeller, and a slightly bigger, area to kind of keep the thing. And it just kind of, it's a little bit slower. This actually reminds me of the 1.2 inch rigs with tri-blades. These guys with bi-blades, they're fast, they're all over the place, which is cool. Like, you can fling it upside down across the entire room, and it's just really, really, really fun. This kind of slows down a little bit because of the bigger props, but then it's still got really good power. And that's why, in the same way that like when I fly these little guys with bi-blades versus tri-blades, when I fly these with tri-blades, I hit the gates more often, and I land more of the tricks. But then when I fly it with the bi-blades, it's hysterically fun because it skids all over the place, and it's slidey and it's fast. This is kind of like the smaller one with tri-blades, but with bis, and so you get the extra efficiency because you're running bi-blades. This is really, really good. I'm going to do at least one more 1.4 inch build, probably with what I was talking about earlier, the Happy Model Module 6 2024. Very, very cool. I did not expect this. I did not expect this at all. I'm super happy about this. Thanks for hanging, friends. That's pretty awesome. If you have a 65 Pro frame floating around, join me on this little adventure. Put some 702, 25,000, 27,000, 30,000, whatever kV motors on it, and you might really, really like it. CMYK says stream is stuttering. Get it together, YouTube. CMYK also says, what are your thoughts on a pin vise to straighten out motor shafts? Trying it as soon as I get one in hand. That's an interesting idea. Probably work. Here's the thing, though. Once a motor shaft bends, it'll always bend in that same spot. So if you straighten it back out, it's just going to rebend. So, yeah, that's a really cool idea, though. Midnight Jesus says, what was that move you just did? It was so fast I couldn't parse what happened, other than it looked awesome. No clue. Brian Kirk says, I just bought a Hummingbird 3.1 race back and the camera angle is too aggressive. Should I keep racing 6-packs or put a B-brain on it? I moved mine off of that canopy that it comes with pretty quick to a Bri-brain. So I would say switch it out. CMYK says, damn dude, you're cooking down the stairs tonight. Thank you, man. Midnight Jesus says, clip the so sexy move. Did you put it in Discord somewhere? You Can FPV says, what are we comparing? Just got back to the stream. 1.2 inch props versus 1.4 inch props. Two builds, same exact all up weight, same camera, same canopy, same damn near everything. Different AIOs, but the heavier AIO is on the lighter weight frame and the lighter AIO is on the heavier weight frame, which is why the all up weights are the same. Midnight Jesus says, what's the build on the blue one again? The blue one, which is the one that's blowing me away the most, is an Air 65 direct soldered setup with the 0702 27,000 kV motors dropped into the Air 65 Pro bigger frame with Gem Fan 1.4 inch bi-blade propellers. And yeah, really, really impressive. Really, really cool. Islander says, the one situation where hot glue would be better than E6000. Yeah, very true. Very true. Brian Kirk says, add 21 seconds. I wish I'd seen that. We could have looked. We'll do more flying between these two to figure out although the runtime looks pretty damn identical. CMYK says, I'm only running whips now for everything. It's just as good for analog freestyle for me. $3 each versus 20 each is significant. Yeah, it's true. Mick Buka says, peace y'all. And we're good to go. Thanks, friends, for hanging out. I'll be back on Wednesday. I'm not sure what we'll do, but we'll do something cool. We might do the RunCam Nano camera comparison on Wednesday. I'm also going to do some antenna comparisons with analog. I've got... so I want to compare that linear Menace RC antenna to the old school Pico, but then I've got some other analog antennas I haven't used in a while. Here's a gigantic Immersion RC 13 dBi patch that we'll screw around with. And then I've got True RC Singularity. I've got this cool Axie Duo 5.8 patch. I've got a simple little Axie 5.8 patch. And then an old school Immersion RC Fat Shark Cloverleaf style antenna. So yeah, I drag these antennas around with me everywhere, and then I never use it like as spares and backups and shit, and then I never use them. But I've got a bunch of analog builds here, and with what's happening with prices, I think we might have a little renaissance when it comes to like analog stuff here, and I want to be all over that. And so yeah, we're gonna do some some antenna testing here for sure. I've also got a walk snail build that I want to put together. Oh, well, I gotta wait for those propellers to do this other 45mm. We got some cool stuff. We got some cool stuff coming. Subscribe, click the thumbs up, do all the things. And yeah, feast on the beauty that is my Fat Shark. This is not Fat Shark. My HD0 goggles with the coolest fucking wrap ever from 533. Professionally installed from a tint place, so the corners are all nice and smooth and crisp. This is just my favorite thing ever. I'm gonna paint whichever patch antenna I end up going with on this. I'm gonna paint it gray, and then I also have to paint this gray to kind of tie the whole room together. See you Wednesday, friends. Enjoy yourselves. Thanks for supporting me. CiottiFPV.com. Click all the buttons. I'll keep doing this, and we can hang together forever. Love you guys. Bye. Here's some more flying with the with this wacky thing, dragging around the Insta360 Go. Let me put it on Horizon lock. Hold on. I'm gonna play this through the Insta360 app, but I want to put Horizon lock on one of these, on that first file that you watched in the intro. So if FPV stabilization is in the intro, and now here is going to be the Horizon lock turned on. So let me move this over here to the other monitor. I'll go full screen. Oh, I'm not allowed to go full screen. That's weird. Come over here, lock that down, and then turn on flow state, which has the Horizon locked. And then I'm going to collapse this. How do I... Footage panel? Shut that down. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then as full... Oh, there's a full screen button, dummy. Here you guys go. Insta360 outside on a 2S 1002 Bing Bong rig. See you guys Wednesday.